How are you? Happy Monday. On a quest, a path of happiness and success. Is that where you are today? Scott, it's Monday. I can't be on that path. Sure you can. And the fact is you already are on the path to happiness and success, step by step, right? Well, today, I want to make it easier for you. I'm going to teach you something that 25 years ago, I would have vehemently argued with you about. Debated, I should say. I didn't agree with it, but these days, I got older, I got wiser, I got less dumb. Hopefully, we'll see. And I figured something out. I'll teach that to you today. It's a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day, because life's going to get in the way. And we're going to get there no matter what gets in the way, aren't we? Often people say, Scott, you say stand up, take a step, and repeat. Yeah, it's the world's simplest success recipe. It is. Stand up, take a step, and repeat. Basically, it's the beginning of a habit structure is what that really, truly is. And we'll do that maybe on another show. But stand up, take a step, repeat. And they say, well, how long do I have to? And the answer is, well, until you get what you want, which is kind of way out there and kind of hard to hang on to for some folks, and I get it. But that's what we're doing. You just dig in and go and find a way to stay motivated till you get what you want. But the answer would be, if you're a logical kind of person saying, Scott, stop giving me this until I get what I want answer. I don't want that. Tell me the number, Scott. Okay. The 66 days. Yep. You've heard a habit set in 21 days before. Somebody made that up. Science actually says it's around 9 weeks, something like that. Not to the day. Somewhere around 9 weeks. There's a process you go through to get there. You start it, you kind of mess it with it in the middle, and then finally it gets installed in your life, and that's what you do. So if you're going to stand up, take a step, and repeat, you can expect that it's going to be somewhere around, 9 weeks, 2 months before it begins to settle in and be natural for you. We'll talk about it more maybe on another show. We're going to kind of pick up on the other side of that today as we get into today's Daily Boost. How are you? My name is Scott Smith. I'm the founder and the chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. Sure happy you're here today. I wouldn't know what to do if you weren't here today. It's Monday. That means I ask a simple question. This is so simple. As a coach kind of guy, I do a lot of coaching, a lot of consulting, a lot of spending time chatting with people and helping them. It's my job. I'm always asked for some homework when folks leave the session with me. And that's where this started years ago. I simply said, ask yourself, how's your life going? You should do that today. You should take a couple of minutes when the show's done, lean your head back in your seat and just say, how's my life going? And what's going to happen is you're going to get answers. Really great. Kind of, sort of. Yuck. Doesn't matter. Now you have a plan, or at least the beginning of a plan. So you can't get where you want to go if you don't know where you are. And if you don't ask the question, how's my life going? You'll never know. So take the information that comes to you and start doing something with it, and you'll get what you want sooner and quicker than you think. So today, I want to talk about default mode. This is something that didn't come to me for a lot of years, although I was doing it anyway in many ways. I'm kind of a guy that gets up and does what I have to do to get what I want in my life, and I've done that in my entire life, but never really thought about it too much. I just did it. And eventually I began to default because I realized the path to happiness was essentially not thinking about everything all the time. It was just getting it done. So you've heard me in the past talk about something I call the 5 R's. I know it's a creative term, it's a creative word, but it is a capital R. I worked hard on that one. Ritual, rest, rejuvenate, reactivate, repeat. So that kind of falls, that's kind of what this is, I guess, really what this amounts to. That's kind of what we're doing now. Now, for those of you who are super duper spontaneous like I am, you always want things to be different. I want something different every single day. That's why I like my job, Scott. I work 8 to 5 for 45 years. I like it because it's different. It keeps me busy. I run like crazy all day long. I get home, I'm dead tired. I have a beer, I watch some stupid TV, I go to bed. Yeah. That doesn't make anybody happy. But you are kind of in a default mode. But what if you could change that default mode to give you exactly what you wanted, to get you exactly where you wanted to go on your terms? Would that be cool? You can. The myth of floating around your life, the myth that it's more fun to be spontaneous, it's just that. It's a myth. It's true some of the time, but not all the time. Humans, as Tony Robbins said, live on certainty and variety, opposite of each other, right? So we want to float around and we want spontaneous, we want some variety in our life. If we do too much of that, we get in trouble. Happiness and success are really common in people who live in a default mode. Now, in other words, they figure out what works and they do it. Living by default mode is a predictable way to live for you and everybody around you. Now, you're doing it to some extent right now. Is it the right thing? Are you defaulting to that beer and that bad TV at nighttime? Are you defaulting to that or something better for yourself? I mean, your willpower fades late in the day, which is probably why you do that. So it has to be a conscious decision for you to default to another way of thinking, because decision making when you're tired and stuff doesn't work. You have to have it set in advance. Let me give you an example of how this works. I have oftentimes over the years, have referred to dieting. We started this program a long time ago, and it started as a fitness program. It was called the Motivation to Move Show. I did a show called the Fitness Boost. Started there because I was a relatively overweight dude, 30, 40 pounds, 60. Lost the weight, got in shape, figured it out. And people said, well, how'd you do it? It's kind of what happens, right? Get some success. People say, how'd you do it? I said, I don't know. I just did my thing. But don't tell me exactly how to do it. Well, here's how I did it. I came up with a default diet. I simply decided what food I would eat on my diet, and there was no choice. I made the decision in advance, and every single day I defaulted to it. I just did it. Shake in the morning, shake for lunch, 1,500 calories a day. Have a nice meal at nighttime. It works endlessly. How about getting in shape at the gym? If you have a default, a habit set in you that you just don't even question, you get out of bed, you go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week. And I do 45 minutes or an hour, whatever it is. If you set up a default mode, life is easy, because now you're not using your willpower to get there. You're not having to think about it. It's just done. So think about your life right now. Think about the areas of your life that you're in default mode. I run a business. I got to tell you, it's fun to run a business. It's active. It's interesting every single day. But the truth is, it's boring. If I'm doing my job properly, it's boring. This is the most exciting part of my job right here, what I'm doing right this minute. Otherwise, it's boring. Why is it boring? Because I built systems in place. It's a default. I show up, I do it. As long as I do it works, it works really well. Start messing around, it doesn't work, does it? You guys that are messing around with your businesses. It reduces stress. It takes away you having to use your brain, that prefrontal cortex that gets so tired. It gets way back in the deep parts of your brain where your habits are just embedded in you. We won't use technical terms today because I can't quite think of them right now. But you know what I mean. So let me ask you a question. Is there something in your life right now that is on default mode? Meaning, it may or may not be serving you. And might you rethink that so that you're only doing things mindlessly that are good for you and move you forward in the direction you want to go? That's where you want to be. Because what you'll learn over time is that if you can put certain behaviors in default mode, that's all you'll do, and you won't have another option. You'll just do that. You won't even think about the way you used to do things. And then you stack another one on top of that, and on top of that, and on top of that, and on top of that. And now you have this whole catalog of things that you just do that make you better, and nobody else can figure out how you do it. Does it matter? Nobody else can figure out. Listen, are you on social media? Yes, it matters. It matters. You know it matters. But the truth is, what you practice in private, you get praised for in public. So when you put it in default mode, you just do what works consistently every single day. Suddenly you're thin, you're in shape, you got money, you're happy, you got better relationships. The whole thing, you read more books. Everything happens when you figure out how to default to it. So do it. Hey, do me a favor. Come see me at my Facebook page, dailyboostpodcast.com/Facebook. Special props for people who are Daily Boost Premium members. I like you just a little bit more because you help me produce the podcast, you help me distribute it, you help me pay for that. If you'd like to be liked a little bit more by me, wink, wink, go to Daily Boost Podcast or dailyboostpremium.com and check it out. Maybe for you. If you're already there, thank you, by the way. I appreciate you. See you tomorrow.